We've all felt the frustration of a problem that won't solve itself. You stare at the data until the details blur, waiting for an answer that won't arrive. But for many of us, that breakthrough only happens after we finally stop trying and start nodding off. As you drift into a state called hypnagogia, the conscious mind begins to lose its rigid grip on reality. Structured thoughts begin to dissolve, drifting into a space where the usual rules of logic no longer apply. Once you enter deep sleep, the brain initiates a high-speed sorting operation. It takes the thousands of raw experiences you collected during the day and begins clustering them into organized, usable patterns. This process reaches a fever pitch during REM sleep. Here, the brain forces unassociated ideas to collide, fusing isolated fragments into a single cohesive solution. You wake up the next morning with the answer, a connection between distant ideas that your waking brain struggled to bridge just hours before. For over a century, science got this entirely wrong. Early researchers looked at these environments and concluded that sleep was simply a passive state, an off switch for the body to recover from the day. If the brain isn't shutting down, how does it handle this volume of data? How does it filter millions of daily experiences into a single breakthrough without overtaxing its limited energy? This sorting process begins while you're still awake. As you move through your day, your brain applies salience to its facts into the temporary hippocampus. During deep sleep, the neocortex generates slow oscillations, acting as a global metronome. These trigger thalamic sleep spindles, brief windows of heightened plasticity. Synchronized with this, the hippocampus fires sharp wave ripples, uploading tagged memories into the permanent neocortex. As the brain strengthens the tagged memories, it also performs synaptic downscaling. It identifies the untagged, irrelevant background noise and actively weakens those connections. NREM sleep operates as a ruthless editorial process. It preserves the vital signals while letting the irrelevant noise fade away, ensuring only the big picture concepts survive. Once the initial sorting is done, the brain shifts into REM sleep. The deep, synchronized rhythms disappear, replaced by chaotic, high-frequency brainwaves that look almost identical to waking life. When an emotional event is first recorded, it's surrounded by a jagged aura of stress, making it visceral and painful. During REM, the brain strips away this emotional charge, allowing you to forget the pain while selectively strengthening the factual data. This happens because the brain is flooded with acetylcholine. This chemical shift creates a state of high integration, weaving new memories into the vast framework of your existing knowledge. In this unique environment, the brain runs bizarre simulations. It forces distant, previously unassociated fragments of information together to test new patterns and combinations. The illogical nature of our dreams is actually the physical work of creative problem-solving. Your brain is rapidly testing complex connections that your waking mind would be too rigid to even attempt. When you wake up, that memory is no longer a fragile, raw experience. It has been physically restructured into a flexible, creative asset that you can use in new ways. This process requires precise timing. Because the largest blocks of REM sleep happen in the final hours of the night, an irregular schedule or a 6-hour night will directly amputate the most creative phase of your sleep cycle. To maximize this, you can leverage the testing effect. Actively recalling information right before you go to bed is a behavioral hack that signals to your prefrontal cortex that this data is critical. That intentional recall acts as a salience tag. It guarantees the information receives priority during the night's memory triage, ensuring it's the first thing your brain strengthens while you rest. Sleep is the active mechanical engine of human intelligence. Often, the most productive step towards solving a complex problem is finally closing your eyes.